Welcome to another video of the Review Advent Calendar series. This time around we're going to review SolidS' Liar Crier, which was a song released way back then. We're talking about 2016, and this is easily one of the best songs by the group. Thank you very much to Grace for suggesting this song. So let's get this review started. You start with this melody that is repeating from start to end of this song. It is really delicate. The piano is playing really low in volume. It is pianissimo. It is slowly threading its way. It's almost as if it is fickle, and you can tell by this piano that this song is going to be emotional. You do not know how much, but you can already feel from that piano part that this song is going to be emotional, and not at all a song like usually SolidS perform, which is fiery, passionate, a bit dirty at times, and sexy at others. So this time around SolidS approached their music in a completely different way, I must say, almost like as if they were challenged to perform like growth, and what you get is something impressive. Notice how raspy or growly Natsuki Hanae sounds like. At the same time, notice how the instrumental now added slow-paced drums with a hard-hitting snare. It is hard-hitting, but it's not overwhelming. It's not basically occupying the entire soundscape. It's leaving a lot of room open. And slowly, member by member, they take turns, and then they culminate in what is easily one of the best parts within this song. Now you have another element making its entrance, so with every member a new element joins in the song. And now you have a lot happening. So you have the bass line joining in, you have Takuya Eguchi leading the way with a really low tone. At the same time, you have Natsuki Hanae on your left complementing his tone, and on your right you do have still another set of vocals. Which vocals are they? So for this song you do have Natsuki Hanae in the background supporting all the vocals, at least for the very first verse. You do have as well two sets of vocals by the main vocal in each part, so in that case you had Takuya Eguchi with his vocals in the main low and in the background a bit higher. And in this case you have Yuichiro Umehara with his vocals low, which is usually his range, and then a bit higher in the background, complemented by Natsuki Hanae's vocals. But there's more people to this group, and it is missing one person right now. Of course, it was Soma Saito that had to join and add a different vibe to it. What happens in here is that up until now you had Takuya Eguchi and Yuichiro Umehara with their vocals complemented by Natsuki Hanae's, and you had, for starters, Natsuki Hanae with no vocals complementing him. You had the tenor alone, you have the two baritones complemented, and now you have another tenor alone. And if you think and you still think that SolidS is a group that has no technicality whatsoever, now listen to them performing lyrical music. That's one of those very rare times in which I find a la la sort of part within a song to actually sound good. These make sense. Why? Because you have all the climax on the vocals, you have all the vocals going at the same time, you have the harmonies on your far right and far left, they are harmonizing, they are going really high, which is yet again something that I love when SolidS goes really melodic, is that Natsuki, Hanae and Soma Saito, the two tenors in the group, go really high on their notes and on their range, and they deliver something really amazing. I do find that whenever the two of them are working together, you get harmonies that are spine chilling. They give me goosebumps. That chorus always gives me goosebumps. It's something unbelievable. Almost a decade after, and this song still gives me goosebumps, which is a good testament that this song is actually really well made, and the performance has the perfect build-up intention to create and to basically demand of you a reaction, and you will have a reaction towards this song. If it's not because you are impressed by how high they went, or their harmonies, or how amazingly Natsuki, Hanae and Soma Saito are going on your ears, in the far parts of your ears, and then how amazingly cohesive Takuya Eguchi and Yuichiro Umehara are at holding the group together with their robust mid and low tones, well, this song actually goes out of its way to make your jaw drop in awe and to have goosebumps all over. Liar Crier is usually an underrated song because it doesn't really fit within the style that SolidS has, and usually people write it off as just a one-off thing, but actually the group has the quality to do these and more on a regular basis, because their lineup is ridiculously good. So after all that fanfare that you got in the chorus, you do have a moment of quietness. You are back to that idyllic, almost ethereal soundscape with that beautiful piano, now not as solemn as it was in the intro, although it is the same, but now that you had the chorus, you can approach that piano part in a completely different way. It has grown into something completely different in tone. It is almost hopeful, almost happy, still fickle, but it is completely different in tone. This is an odd choice. Most people will think, well, why aren't they singing anything for what is 2, 3, 4 measures? Why? Because they are basically creating a setting and they want for you to assimilate what happened, basically understand what happened, and then they carry over. They give you enough time to process what happened, and then to get things increasingly dramatic from this point on. A big change in here, because now you have Soma Saito that was performing high notes back then. Now he is performing low in here, and he is complemented by a baritone. So now the roles have inverted. Now you have the tenor being supported by the baritone, which is not something that happens often, but it can make both singers sound really, really well. Actually, when you do the opposite, it's the same, but in here it is weird and at the same time impressive because Soma Saito is going out of his comfort zone to perform in a lower tone than usual, actually with Yuichiro Umehara sounding a bit higher than him. And now you have Yuichiro Umehara complimenting Takuya Eguchi. So the group is so good that they are confident that each member can cover for the other because they can do so, and I believe that they can do so. In 2016 it was the year in which the group started to change their quality, especially on the vocal end, and Yuichiro Umehara started to improve a lot as a singer, and you can tell that he was putting a lot of effort into sounding really, really good, and he was sounding amazing because he's doing a little bit of everything. He's taking a lot of the spotlight, not because he is the one singing, but because he is the one supporting. Long notes, vibrato, and Natsuki Hanae is leading the way, but everyone is going to give their all. Just listen to them on relay. Listen to those high notes going on. It is amazing. That sa was so beautiful and so smooth because it was Soma Saito doing whisper style of singing in that specific part. It basically he went there and he made a part that was already smooth even smoother. It sounds so, so, so good. This is a song like no other, and I still to this day, Liar Crier is one of those songs that I want to see SolidS perform live, especially because you are listening here to a group in 2016, in which Soma Saito only had 1 year of experience singing, in which Yuichiro Umehara also had only 1 year of experience singing. Takuya Eguchi was the most experienced of them all. He was already active with Trignol, so he was already singing and rapping since then. And then you had Natsuki Hanae that had a period between 2010 and 2016 in which he released music, but he never actually made a solo debut. So if this song was performed today, Liar Crier, I believe that fans would be rendered to tears. For real. This was a performance in which the group still hadn't polished their sound. They still hadn't polished their performances. They were doing so. And this was a turnaround for them in which they actually started to, well, let's try to do something really different. And in this case, this Color series was the start of what I believe it is now SolidS, as technical as they are right now and as emotional as they can be at times, even if they are sexy, sometimes corny, but lovable in all their appearances and their styles of or music styles that they approach. I do love this song a whole lot. This is a long one. This is a over 6 minute long song with several parts that are absolute silence on the vocal end. For some people, this may sound like a boring song, especially if you are waiting for something to happen, but if you are someone that has the patience to wait for the story to envelop, and you notice that the story is actually being told to you actually from the instrumental, Akira Takizawa did the best for you to actually listen to this song and feel what he actually wanted you to feel, and actually on top of that, SolidS did an amazing job at conveying those emotions. Even if you do not understand Japanese, you can understand those emotions that are going on their vocals. It is a solemn song, it has a longing in there, it is a bit sad at times, but it has some hope in there. And you can notice that as they tell you to scream it loud and simply embrace what you have in here and not throw it away at all. I do find Liar Crier to be really beautiful song, and it was one of those times in which you have a group that usually doesn't do a style of song or a style of performance doing that and impressing everyone. They did a style of, or a growth style of song, and they actually showed that they can do a lyrical style of performance and they can be really emotional and incredibly technical on the vocal end. This song is beautiful, not to say one of my favorites, which is something quite interesting because I do enjoy the group a whole lot, minus their first CD. But Liar Crier is one of those songs that really makes me fully appreciate the group even more, because they do have a lot of talent. People only perceive them for what is popular, but what is not, I should say the core fans that follow everything that is happening and not just what is in the anime series, for example. Those that follow the series with some interest, they will find these gems from time to time, in which SolidS comes with a song that you weren't expecting, and that ends up fitting them really well, because they have a really versatile lineup. I've already said this countless times that they have 2 baritones and 2 tenors, and 2 of the best tenors among male seiyuu are in this group, Natsuki Hanae, who has a unique voice, and Soma Saito, who back then was not as experienced as right now, but he was already really good, and right now he is a top 2 best singer among male seiyuu. It's not even a discussion in here. So you do have a lineup that is amazing and can do so much more, and especially looking at how much Yuichiro Umehara has grown into being a downright amazing singer with a lot of control. Back then he didn't have that much control, but then again he was not that confident about his singing skills. Something really changed in a couple of years back, and he made that shift in his approach to singing, and now he is really confident and can deliver a performance that will leave you basically in tears if he wants to. Takuya Eguchi is basically the core to this group. He is a pillar to this group, even without knowing the franchise and knowing that he voices Shiki, who is basically the leader of the group. But without even knowing that, you can tell that he is leading the way. You can tell by the way he conducts the song and he conducts his performance. So this is really, really good performance. I do enjoy Liar Crier a whole lot, and if this was the very first time you listen to this song, I fully welcome you to purchase this song. It is available on Autotoy. Purchase it, because this is a song that deserves to be purchased, to be listened to. It's not available on streaming platforms, so you will not have that luck, because Movic hasn't made their music or the music by their groups available on Spotify. At least the TSUKIPRO franchise, the music is available in Japan but not available overseas, at least at the time of recording this episode. I do hope this changes sometime soon, but at the moment it's not available for those outside of Japan, so that's a big issue. But do give it a listen if you can. Liar Crier deserves much more than one listen, and especially much more than a listen with me talking on top of it. So do take the time to actually search this song, purchase the song, and listen to it, because it's 6 minutes long. It's more than worth your money, and it is an amazing group from a wonderful 2D music franchise. So thank you very much in this case to Grace for suggesting this song. I was not expecting Liar Crier to be suggested. Was expecting one of the most popular songs by SolidS, so this was a pleasant surprise, and especially one that I welcome a whole lot, because I do love when groups change things around and play around a little bit with what they actually are and what they can achieve. So thank you very much for suggesting this song, and for everyone for watching this episode as well. If you can't wait for the next episode, you also have linked in this episode a playlist that has all the episodes so far released in the Review Advent Calendar series since 2021. So do check them out, because I also have a review of SolidS' Romeo, which is an unbelievable song, so you do have to check it as well. So thank you very much for watching this episode, and I'll see you guys soon.